Everybody wants Victor Osimhen. The 24-year-old plays for Nigeria and Napoli and is one of the deadliest strikers in Europe at the moment. He's got over 20 goals for the runaway league leaders Napoli, and he might turbocharge them to a Champions League trophy as well. This summer, three things are going to happen. Football clubs are going to go, how do we stop this troubling striker with the carbon fiber mask? They might also go, how do we find and create more of these players in the carbon fiber mask? Or for the super rich, you go, how do we buy the man in the carbon fiber mask? So, what makes him so special? What makes him hotter than fish grease? What makes him put defenders in HELL hockey sticks? In front of me is Napoli's starting 11 from their game against Juventus, where they basically stomped them. They beat them 5-1. It's what people will call a statement victory. It was one of the first great games where you're like, ooh, you're really good. You might win it all. One thing you need to point out about this Napoli team is their squad is like top 5 in Europe, maybe even top 2, up there with Arsenal and the rest. They've got a number of players that are just incredible. This Napoli team, really, really fun. Bit different from Sarri's Napoli team. They like to mix it up. They can do the nice, cute passing triangles, and their midfield three do loads of rotations, but they also can kick it long. The reason they can kick it long is because Victor, boy howdy, he can beat up defenders. He very often occupies central areas, can occupy 2 centre-backs at any time. He can take the ball receiving to feet. He can run in behind. He's fantastic in the air. And when he's back to goal against them centre-backs, boy, is his back. Is back to goal. When they were playing against Juventus, playing the 4-3, you've got Kvaratskhelia bombing forward, you've got this midfield 3 that can mix it up, they've got fantastic defensive security here as well, and Osimhen is very often stood here in between your 2 centre-backs. What's really cool is Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen, boy, really, really good strike partnership. They've created 8 goals for each other so far in Europe. That's the second biggest combination in Europe's top 5 leagues, behind Messi and Mbappe. Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen. I call that combination KO! A really good example of their combination play can be found in Osimhen's goal, Napoli's 4th against Juventus. So when the move starts, Napoli pushing really high up the field. Juventus are trying to play out the back. See, Victor's here. He's just crouched. He waits. That's what he does. Napoli win the ball back. Kvaratskhelia gets the ball in the edge of the box. And Victor, he's up. He's ready. He's primed. Ball comes in, and just look how he's occupied in between the 2 centre-backs. I once talked to Ian Wright, who told me a very, very good place for a centre-forward to be when you're in the box is you need to be in a position where you can read the defender's name. Because if you can read the defender's name on the back of their shirt, they don't know where you are. So, Osimhen, very, very good at doing this. Ball comes in, and boy, just dunks on them. One thing you will find when you watch a lot of Victor Osimhen highlights is how he hits the ball with superb authority. If he's heading the ball, he's really heading it. If he's kicking the ball, he's just twonking it. You can find another example of this in Osimhen's goal against Sassuolo. Again, long ball over the top, doesn't really look too much, but look at Osimhen here. He's manhandling 2 centre-backs at the same damn time. That's a future reference, sorry. He's manhandling 2 centre-backs at the same time. Osimhen right now is one of the more physically dominant strikers in world football. He is stronger than most centre-backs. He is faster than most centre-backs. He has a very unorthodox way of interpreting space. He has a very unorthodox way of running. You know what's fun? I want you to take your hand, right? And I want you to do this with it. So Cristiano Ronaldo, when he runs with the ball, he runs like a sprinter with his back upright, and he runs like this. Sergio Aguero, bit shorter, lower center of gravity, really chunky thighs. He ran a bit like this, like a claw. Victor Osimhen has this thing where he ran a little bit like Luis Suarez, like a claw, which is odd because he's 6'1"-ish, so he's Ronaldo's height, and then he runs like this. As he's running towards you with the ball, his upper body moves forward and backwards, which makes it really, really hard for defenders to tell how close he is. He wins a lot of fouls because defenders can't quite get the timing right. Falls down to ground. Seb Safford-Bloor, the big old lovely Tifo honcho, hey buddy, said that Victor Osimhen's really fun because he can change his speed without necessarily altering his stride pattern. There's loads of times where he looks like he's running really fast, but he's basically baiting defenders, and then when he kicks into high gear, they can't catch up with him. For example, see how he's got 2 centre-backs here? Whoops, gives one the slip, goes round them, and then look at this screenshot. Look how absurd it is. He's this far wide. He's got 1 centre-back who's pushing him out wide. That centre-back over there has done everything you're meant to do, right? You've had your centre-forward, you've pushed him out wide, and the Victor just goes, no, I'm twonking it. And boy, does he twonks it, and it goes in. It's a fantastic goal. Would you like some statistical analysis about Victor? Right in front of me, I've got some shot maps. This is last season, where he broke his face, compared to this season. So last season, you've got a man who is prone to playing hero ball. Look at some of these cluster of shots from outside the box. These are absolutely hilarious. This is a man who just looks up and goes, go on then. He also really likes drifting out wide, running the channels, drifting out wide, and just having a little twonk from here. These are all quite fun. But this season, he's getting a lot closer to goal. As Napoli has improved as a team, he has basically turned from being someone who was hearable to turning to one of the most authoritative punctuation marks you will find in world football. You've got players like Kavica and you've got players like Anguissa who are writing the creative sentence, and then Osimhen pops up, exclamation mark, bang! He's just a tremendous striker. He's also still got that tendency for drifting wide and getting a lot of shots off, but a lot of these shots are going in now, so he's also worked on his game. At the moment, he's averaging more than 4 shots per 90. His XG, he's overperforming by his XG, but not in a ridiculous rate. This is a player who now has figured out how to score 15 league goals a season way before the season has ended. That is a very scary striker. Another example of Victor scoring a goal is the fact that he's just aerially dominant in a way that we haven't seen a striker be aerially dominant since. I mean, Andy Carroll was good in the air, but Andy Carroll was made of glass. So recently, Napoli played against Eintracht Frankfurt, ball goes wide, and here's Victor. Once again, centrally stationed. Once again going, ball comes in, and it's not a great cross. Victor has to generate a lot of power from his jump. Look how high he is. Do you need another angle? Look how high he is. This is Victor Osimhen's strength. He is aerially dominant, he's physically dominant. He also interprets space in a way that not many defenders can really get used to. Victor knows that when he's in central areas, he's perfectly placed for crosses. But compare his position here, when he's against Torino, when he's asking for the ball, to where he finishes it. He drops towards the back post. He wants to give himself more space to get that header. He's very, very good at turning quarter chances into half chances and then turning half chances into goals. That spectacular goal he scored earlier this season against Roma, where the ball came in and he chests it, and you're like, okay, well done, you controlled it. He bounces off his leg, you're like, oh, he's bought himself an extra second here, and then once again, he just twonks it in the net. Osimhen is fantastic because he can find an extra inch of space where there isn't meant to be one, and he can find an extra second of time to get a shot off where most defenders are going, wait, what? So that's Victor Osimhen. He is a superb striker. He is faster than most defenders. He's stronger than most defenders. He's aerially dominant in a way that most defenders you just don't even want to get into it with him. So something that's been really interesting this season is right at the start of the season, defenders were going up in the air to try and get with him. And then towards the end of the season, defenders just going, hi Victor, you can just go for that ball. I don't want to get into it with you because you'll embarrass me deeply. You may remember, he's the man in the carbon fiber mask. The reason he wears that mask is he broke his cheekbone last season after a clash of heads with Inter Milan's Scudetto. If there is one slight, tiny asterisk with Victor, is that because he is so good at interpreting space and because he is so energetic and willing to get into spaces that defenders don't really want to get into, sometimes he can hurt himself because he's willing to break his nose or indeed break his face to get goals. He doesn't need to wear that face mask too much, but I hope he does forever because it's just like really cool, like Zorro energy. Anyway, that's Victor. He's going to finish this season probably as a Serie A champion. He might also finish the season as a Champions League winner as well. Napoli are in the fun side of the quarter-final draw as well, and also as we've just talked about, their squad's amazing, their manager's really fantastic, that midfield is really well balanced, and Kavica, Kvaratskhelia, and Victor Osimhen make for a KO punch. So that's him at Napoli at the end of the season, and the summer. In the summer, oh boy, we're gonna talk about negotiations. He's already hinted after beating Frankfurt that he might play in the Premier League, or he would enjoy playing in the Premier League. And I mean, the way he's going through Serie A defenders, he really would enjoy playing in the Premier League. If you are a Premier League club, you probably want to pony up 100 million to start the conversation for buying him, and then you'll probably be pushed up and up and up and up and up and up, and then be told that you need to buy him for 150 million. But trust me, he's worth the money. This kid is showtime.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.